Okay, so in this video we're going to be looking at how to rearrange a formula. The subject of a formula is a pronumeral that is by itself. We can rearrange an equation to make another pronumeral the subject. This is sometimes called transposing. So we're going to have a look at a few examples. We're going to rearrange the following formula or formulae to make the pronumeral in the brackets the subject of the equation. So in question A, we have F is equal to ma. Force is equal to mass times acceleration. F is currently the subject because F is by itself. We want to make m the subject. We want m to be by itself. Therefore, we need to get rid of this a. We need to move it to the other side. The question is, how do we move it to the other side? Well, at the moment, m is multiplied by a. Therefore, to move it, we need to do the opposite of timesing a by dividing by a. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide both sides by a, and that will leave m by itself. So f divided by a will equal to m. And now m is the subject of the equation. In question B, we have a is equal to pi r squared. This is the formula for the area of a circle. We want r to be the subject. That means we need to get rid of this pi and this square. The first thing we need to do is get rid of that pi. It's pi times r squared, so the opposite of times pi is divide by pi. So a divided by pi is equal to r squared. Now to get r to be by itself, we need to do the opposite of squared, which is square root. So we're going to square root a over pi to equal r. And now r is the subject of the equation. In question C, we have I equals PRN. This is the simple interest formula. We want the rate by itself, which means we need to get rid of P and N. How do we get rid of P and N? Well, they are all multiplied together. So the opposite of multiply is divide. We're going to divide I by P and N, and that will give us R by itself. In question D, we have a squared is equal to c squared minus b squared. We want c to be the subject of the equation. So we need to get rid of this minus b squared and this squared up here so we can get c by itself. So the first thing we need to do is get rid of that minus b squared by adding b squared to both sides. That leaves us with a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. Now we can get c by itself by doing the opposite of squaring, because we need to get rid of this square, and that's square root. So we're going to square root a squared plus b squared, and that will leave us with c by itself. Last example. We have x is equal to minus b plus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And we want c to be the subject of the equation. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this fraction by multiplying by the denominator, 2a. That leaves us with 2ax on the left hand side is equal to minus b plus the square root of b squared minus 4ac. The next thing I need to do is add b to both sides. That leaves us with 2ax plus b on the left hand side is equal to the square root of b squared minus 4ac. Now I need to get rid of that square root sign. Okay, I need to get rid of the square root sign, so the opposite of square rooting is squaring. So I'm going to square the left-hand side. And that will leave us with b squared minus 4ac. I now need to get rid of this b squared by minusing b squared. So I've got 2ax plus b all squared minus b squared is equal to minus 4ac. And now I can get c by itself, okay, because the question asked us to get c to be the subject of the equation, by getting rid of this minus 4a. This is saying minus 4a times c, so the opposite of times minus 4a is divided by minus 4a. So I'm going to divide this entire left-hand side by minus 4a, and that will get us c by itself. And that's it for this video.